So I decided to modify my blinking LED by adding several resistors. If you take a look at my breadboard, and I'll zoom in so it's more visible, you can see that I have a number of resistors that are added. I think it's a total of 5. And I set them up so that the current will flow through them one after another. In the world of circuits and in physics, we call that a series connection. And the reason why I added all these resistors is I thought it could reduce the brightness of my LED if I had more resistors. And as I know, being a physics teacher, by adding resistors in series like this in a circuit, you actually increase the resistance, which basically reduces the current, so how many charges are flowing by every second. And I figured by doing that I would decrease the intensity of the LED, make it less bright. So I have this blinking with all these resistors, all these 330 ohm resistors wired in series. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the circuit. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to essentially break the circuit that's currently set up with the 5 resistors, and then I'll set it up so that there's a single resistor that the charge is flowing through, so that hopefully we'll see that the current is increased and therefore we have a brighter LED. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make my modification now. So here's again the brightness with 5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to again add in a single resistor. So right now I have it connected to ground, to the negative column here of my breadboard, which is connected to the Arduino at the ground port. And I'm going to disconnect the resistor down here from ground, so that again I break the circuit, and then I can essentially make a new circuit by connecting in this single resistor to this top row of my breadboard, which would essentially connect to the one end of my LED, where the other end of the LED is connected to the channel that is outputting 5 volts. That's the output channel 13 here. All right, so I'm going to disconnect the 5, and then I'll connect in the single resistor. So here is my single resistor, and as you can see, this is certainly brighter than it was before. So by adding in all these resistors, I had reduced the brightness of the LED bulb, and now I have the LED operating at a brighter level. And I'm probably going to modify this further. This is a pretty inelegant solution to the question, do you have a fainter LED with more resistance? In my next circuit, I'll probably just use a resistor that has a greater resistance instead of stringing a bunch of these together.